This is ASUS ROG FX753VD. Maybe here everything looks fine, but this laptop is dead and a little bit broken. My name is Andrew, and in this video we're gonna back this machine in live and function again. I got this laptop in a good cosmetic condition, with charger and with box. At first everything looks fine, but the laptop is burned by lighting. And the other problem is the case is broken at the right hinge. So let's start with disassembling, and I will tell a few words more about this laptop. I buy this machine from a guy which is the first owner, and he told me how everything happens. This happened back in summer. Outside was stormy. I know this because we're living in the same town, and while it was rainy outside, he sits to play some games. Also, he connected the internet to the LAN cable because to get a better connection. But after a while, the lightning struck very near his house. And at that moment, he heard pop, a small explosion from the laptop, and that's all. So fast forward. He took the laptop to the repair store, and in the store, they told him, the motherboard is dead, and changing the motherboard will cost about 500 euros. So that's too expensive, and he bought a new laptop. But when he takes a closer look, he found out that the hinge is broken, which is not caused by him. And this is the chipset, and from where the problem is coming up. And the other part is still on the protective film. When I take a closer look, I can see how the chip is made from the inside, which is pretty cool. Also, it's very visible where the LAN port is burned, and as well some other components around. And when I check in detail, I found that half of the motherboard is totally burned, and the other half it's still fine. The good parts like the GPU and the CPU are still alive, I mean theoretically, and as well can be used to repair some other laptops. Okay, now let's move to disassemble the rest of the laptop. The right hinge looks fine. It's a little bit curved, but not broken, which is a good thing. So the damage is on the plastic, I mean on the case, and the plastics are easier to repair. Now let's take a display and take a look at the plastic. So the damage is here, I mean the plastic on the case. And the plastics are more than 50% damaged. But hey, that's fine. We still have enough space to fix it. First, let's repair the upper part. I will move the cables a little bit, and now to be safe on the side. Now I will place the small screw bolts on the place where they belong. And to fix the bolts, I will use a super glue gel. The gel is stronger, more flexible, but it's drying much slower. So after I will stick these bolts, I will have to leave the case about 6 to 8 hours before applying the next layer. Now I will move the case on a side, and until the glue is drying, let's move to cleaning. To clean the parts, I will use few brushes, cotton buds, compressed air, anti-static glass cleaner, and 96% isopropyl alcohol. In this case, the keyboard is harder to clean because it's attached to the palm rest. I mean, the keyboard cannot be removed. Here, very carefully, using alcohol and cotton buds, I clean all keys around and from the top. Also here, I used a compressed air to remove the dust which is under the keys. And as finished, I used brushes and a very soft fabric to clean the top side of the palm rest. Okay, now let's shift on the display. Cleaning the display is going differently. Here we have to be very careful also. This type of displays are very thin and very sensitive, easy to break or cause some other damage. And on this type of display, never clean the backside, because the white film from the backside is super easy to damage. How you can see, the backside may look dirty, but it just looks like that. So in this case, if I damage the backside, the display will still work, but it will have a lot of shadows all over the display. The backside can be cleaned using a very soft brush only, and very carefully and very gently. Well, now let's clean the other parts. And to clean the other parts and plastics, I'll use soft brushes, cotton buds, soft fabric, anti-static gloss cleaner, 96% alcohol, and compressed air. So another cool thing is the CD-ROM bay, which is also a disk caddy. Many of the newer laptops, no matter which brand is, are coming with a caddy, so this allows to install a second or a third disk. And one of the major reasons because laptops are overheating is the dust in the cooling fan. In this case, the dust is like concrete, and that's happening because we are using laptops in a different environments and different temperatures. For example, we take the laptop outside to work or school, and when we start the laptop there, the heatsink temperatures rise quickly, but the hardware from the inside is still cold. And then a small condensation happens, and this small condensation makes the dust stick harder to the cooling fan. So, once in 6 to 8 months, or once in a year, it depends how much you're using your laptop, you should pay attention to the cooling. Now, after I finish with shining up the parts, I back to the top case again and apply another layer of the super glue gel. And as well, I check the previous layer, is good or not, or is there something to change, and etc. After I apply the glue, I will leave the case until the next day. Until the glue gets completely dry. The next day, I check the glue. It's all good or not. And fortunately, all looks fine. And now I can move to cleaning the whole top part. So the top case is clean, and I must say that I really like the brush metal design. It looks pretty good, and it's very easy to clean and maintain. Well, now let's move to the assembling. But not a whole laptop, just to reach the part with the motherboard. Okay, let's check the right hinge. And the hinge is looking pretty fine. But now is coming the motherboard, and the things here will start being interesting. So for this machine, I ordered a new motherboard. But when I saw the box, I knew that something isn't right. The box is damaged to one side. The motherboard was very nicely packed in a soft protection, but this isn't preventing a damage. By the way, this motherboard cost 311 euros, or that's about a 350 US dollars, which is not something cheap. So the motherboard is curved. It's like a ski jump ramp, like a Garmisch-Partenkirchen. And the worst thing is, the motherboard is curved right where the GPU is. That's pretty bad. So I contacted the seller and he told me that the post-service is bad. However, I tested the motherboard and for a miracle, the motherboard is working. I found some other problems and I'm going to show that later in this video. It's still affecting the laptop, but it can be fixed. So we enter into conversation with the seller, and from my previous experience, I know that these guys are not sellers. I mean, they're just reselling. And they're trying to put a bread on a table as many peoples on this planet. But as customers, same as you that you're watching this video right now, I think the packing needs to be better. I didn't request any refund. I just only complained about packing the motherboard. In conversation, I said it's better to put $2 more on the price, pack the motherboard in 2 boxes, or use a larger or harder box. In a larger or hard box, with a good protection as well, it's harder to damage the goods. So, in any case if you order something like this, always request a better packing. The other problem here is coming from the RAM. When I test the laptop, one of the RAM slots doesn't work, and I got a black screen. But when I took a better look, I found something like very thin hair. I'm not sure what material it is, but it's causing a problem. So first, I cleaned this material, and after that, the bottom RAM slot started working. On this laptop, I will install a 16GB of RAM in total. 16GB of RAM maybe isn't much, but it's fine for this machine. The next upgrade is M2 disk. This is a 512GB M2 disk from Gigabyte. It's a budget option, but it's matching the hardware speed. Even it's faster. And this is going to be the primary disk. Disk for Windows, some basic softwares, and etc. And the last upgrade is the standard 1TB 2.5-inch Samsung 870 EVO. So this is going to be the secondary disk, or the local disk D. So this is going to be for documents, games, music, videos, and more. I like and I prefer a dual disk combination because it's much safer. I mean, if something happens to the Windows disk or with Windows, the data to the other disk is safe. Well, and the laptop is fully assembled. Now I continue with additional testing and installing Windows. I've tried Windows 10 and everything is working just fine. But when I tried Windows 11, the laptop started having some problems. And yes, it's possible to run Windows 11 to unsupported hardware. So now the laptop started to shut down randomly, no matter Windows 10 or 11. And to all of that, as bonus, the keyboard backlight isn't working. So, first I tried updating the BIOS, and everything went well. But again, the backlight isn't working, and the laptop is shutting down. Again, I open the laptop and I start searching the problem. And after a while, I found a few more faulty components. I changed the components, and finally, the laptop started working normally, except for one thing, the backlight on the keyboard. Theoretically, everything is fine at the motherboard. I mean, all components, voltages, and everything else. However, I'll try to repair this, but for now, this is it. And as finished, I installed some softwares and games, and have done a small customization. Also, to make this project complete, I bought some stuff. I bought a fluorescent mousepad which is glowing in the dark, and I bought a wireless gaming mouse. And as well, once again, I cross over one more shining process. And after we make all these changes, this is the final result. Well, and a few words about this laptop. So some projects may fail, some projects may succeed, and some projects are in the middle, like this one. This machine in this condition is still great for almost all daily tasks. Great for watching movies and videos, it's great for internet browsing, it's great for listening to music, and good for games. I tried to play Battlefield 2042 using medium settings. And under these settings, the game is running satisfying well. Except I'm not such a great gamer. The backlight on the keyboard at this moment isn't working. But however, I will try to repair. And I will let you know about that in the description below the video. I mean, if I succeed or not. But the important thing is, the rest of the hardware is still great and fully functional. Well, I hope you enjoyed watching this video, and I hope this video will give ideas and inspiration to back some tech in a function again. or make some tech or other stuff better. Also, if you want to support my work and my channel, you can press the subscribe button. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.